is a Boardwalk Audio podcast.
Hey, Whiners. Are you guys sick of hearing everyone talk about their favorite shows on HBO? And you're like, but I don't have HBO, you guys. Like, this isn't fair.
We've got free HBO for you.
You guys, we straight up are giving you some free HBO.
Via Amazon.
Via Amazon. It's like this weird mashup of Amazon and HBO.
Yeah, you can get your HBO on Amazon, and they have a free trial, and you get, like, unlimited access to everything.
But if you want some free HBO, all you have to do is go to boardwalkaudio/Amazon HBO.
Boardwalkaudio.com.
Okay, guys. If you guys don't know that your web
out.
addresses need .com, okay, http://www. No, seriously. If you guys don't know about .com, you got to get on it.
Yeah, then you're probably not going to figure out how to work HBO or Amazon. So presumably you know anyway.
True, and you probably don't actually have friends that would care if you watch
well,
HBO
then you
or not.
really need HBO to entertain yourself.
Oh, hey, do you want friends? Do you need friends?
Get it by getting...
Get free HBO.
Yeah.
Here, what's the website again?
The website, you can get a free 7-day trial HBO by going to boardwalkaudio.com // I can talk.
Oh, she's drunk already, guys. She's drunk.
We're sitting in Covell. I haven't had a sip. Mm-hmm. I'm high on a broken foot. Boardwalkaudio.com / Amazon HBO.
Okay, it's Amazon HBO. They got to put that in.
Yeah.
Okay, so Boardwalk Audio, Amazon HBO.
And then if you decide to go forward with it, you get unlimited access to anything HBO for only $14.99 a month.
What if this was just HBO from the Amazon?
Wow.
What if that's what this was?
What
if that's what we were slinging here?
Going down the river.
It's just a bunch of, like, rainforests and, like, killer spiders.
I mean, it would be... Oh, I was about to say it'd be very relaxing, just all the rain sounds.
No.
But then you get spiders.
The Amazon is out to kill you.
Oh.
The Amazon is not your friend.
No, I didn't
HBO
know.
is your friend, but Amazon is out to kill you.
Yeah, the Amazon, the website is friendly. Amazon, the area might kill you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about the place.
Okay. I mean, my dad went there once. He was okay, but I'm sure he encountered terror at every bend.
Yeah, so go there, guys. Check it out. Get your free HBO. Get it.
Get it.
Bye.
I just drink wine.
Welcome to the wine situation.
Oh, no.
It's a Halloween episode.
It sort of is. If only you could see the weird thing Shaugh's doing with his hands.
I'm doing my best, Mr. Burns.
It says very much velociraptor to me. Hi, I'm Ellen Clifford. This is the wine situation where we pair people's whiny wines with boozy wines.
Yeah, I'm Shaughn Buckles, and I help do that. So yeah, we take someone's wine with an H, like something they want to, whine about, and then we just find a wine with an I to go with it. So it's, this kind of like boozy study hall.
It's exactly what it is.
But also like therapy session.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all come out feeling better, and if not better, at least buzzed. Something that begins with a B.
Better buzzed.
Better buzzed.
Buttered. I feel buttered. I'm just greasy.
I dream of feeling oh no.
I'm sure there's like a chat room you could find to help you with it.
So we feel qualified to do this job because Shaughn, he helped open Bar Covell, he worked with Greg Condas, and he is the wine whisperer who has this supernatural ability to pull what wine you need out of your soul and give it to you.
Ooh, way to tie in for the Halloween episode.
Yeah,
and Ellen is qualified because she's passed the WSETs.
Yeah.
Yes, the accreditation program, and she's about to pass the Quartermasters.
That's right, we hope. So, Shaughn.
Yeah, we're hitting the road.
At 5 a.m. tomorrow.
5 a.m. tomorrow morning to go take some wine tests.
By the time you guys hear this, you'll have heard us tell you about it.
Probably.
But let's, I mean, that's how supernatural this episode is. It's going back to
in time.
Back in time. Before it all happened. With that supernatural power called recording.
This is like the ghost. This is like the ghost of us before we knew about wine from the Quartermasters.
Yeah. These are it is.
Future self.
Future self. Please know it's going to be okay. Don't use the spittoon, Ellen. Use the spittoon. Just warning myself in advance.
Shaughn, you had the knowledge in you all along.
Want to do the hip sip tip?
Okay, let's do the hip sip tip. What did you hip sip tip this week?
I tipped a friggin' magnum of 2006 Martinelli Russian River Valley Zinfandel that someone sent me because they were really nice. Because on the Whine app, I wrote about this Zin and how I was drinking it to like wash my ex right out of my hair because it's a long story. But anyway, someone saw that and was like, I have my wife and I have more than we can ever drink, and I have this vintage bottle. I'll send you some. He sent me a magnum of it. So
what?
I called up. I didn't waste time. I called up a couple of friends and we downed that sucker. And it was Zins don't normally age well. They age a little better in magnums because there's a little less oxygen coming in. Apparently, this one was beautiful. It was getting almost a little leathery, but it had all the spiciness and jamminess of a good Zin.
And also, it takes twice as long to age because it's twice as much. So
Yeah.
Gotta use it as a rule of thumb for a Magnum.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious. Also, I'm gonna start tweeting about stuff so people send me free wine.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ask. Someone else saw that and
I
they
love
commented.
it.
They're like, Ellen gets heartbroken on Delectable and she gets free wine. Happy ending to bad story. I was like, yeah, exactly. I'll just start breaking up with people left and right.
There you go. I'm just doing it for the wine.
I'm sorry.
Doing it
It's
for the
not
charity.
you. It's not you.
It's not you. It's just the
the
charity wine.
I mean, I think he sent it to me just because he was excited about the producer I was writing about.
I
but
see.
all I know is there are very nice people in the wine community who have more wine than they can drink.
I'm going to chalk it up to therapeutic wine.
What did you sip upon?
Well, I had probably one of the most amazing meals of my life at Single Thread up in Healdsburg, and it was this amazing, amazing meal. But he had this pairing with this aged sake
I heard.
and the foie gras.
With
Foie gras.
foie gras.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
Foie
my
gras.
best foie gras. But it was slightly whipped, and sounds horribly pretentious the way I
foie gras
described this.
was
Yeah,
whipped?
the whipped. I mean, like this whipped, like delicious foie gras and foie gras.
Foie gras.
No, it's not like a frog. And then this aged sake and this pairing was absolutely life changing. And I've never really had an aged sake, and I didn't get the producer, of course, but it was incredible. It was one of these like two insanely like earthy kind of flavors, and he merged them together, and it created this like umami extra flavor, and it was just it brought me to my knees. It was amazing.
Wow.
So aged sake, who knew?
I've barely had sake.
Yeah, and like I was shocked when he's like, "I'm going to pair a sake with this." I was like, "Oh."
Okay.
He also paired a Syrah with duck, and I had notes on that, but we can get into that later.
Notes on that. Should we intro
our guest? Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys know her from. She is a main company Groundlings member from Veep and upcoming Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, the new Gus Van Sant movie, which I'm so excited to ask you about.
Oh, yeah.
Ann Lane.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, my God.
This is Ann Lane.
Ann Lane. I said it really high. I was like, Ann Lane.
No, I didn't catch it. But, just in case, because my ears are...
Yeah.
Hi, Ann Lane.
Hi, you said it correctly on my
Okay.
birth certificate. It says Ann Lane and then a little asterisk, say it like a Muppet.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, that's like
thank
my
you.
go-to delivery,
It's
I think,
great.
is as Muppet.
It's like the opposite of Don Parno. Ann Lane! Thank you for having me.
Oh my God.
So
thanks for being
excited.
here. Yeah.
You guys
She
are
also
amazing.
has the really high credit of having been one of the original coaches of the now defunct improv team I was on.
Oh, it was so
That's
much
how I
fun
know.
to coach you guys.
You were so much fun to coach us. And then she got 2 minutes. She got in the Groundlings, and we were like, fly free, little bird.
Oh, I was like, goodbye, my
free.
babies. I see you. And then, and then we see each other all over the place because improv is silly and everyone does it. And it's just a way to meet friends,
Yeah.
you know?
Small world.
Small world.
And you have a great name. I love your name and like how it's typed out. I was like looking at it today online. I was like, oh my God, it's
Thank you.
so like symmetrical.
elegant.
It's very, yeah, it's a
You should have
satisfying.
stationery if you don't. Put your name on it. Just because they would look beautiful, some embossed
Oh my
stationery.
God.
Emily.
This-
that would be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my grandfather who actually had stationery of his name and it also said Order of the Purple Heart. And he was like, he'd always type out his letters to his grandchildren and sign them Dr. Finley E. Russell, not grandpa. Like it was very like, don't think of me as a relative. I'm Dr. Finley Russell. So
Don't forget I'm a doctor.
right.
Oh my God.
He also told us some horrifying war stories when my sister was very little.
World War II?
Korea.
Oh, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask.
Oh, no, please. I think there was also, I don't know, it all is conflated in my head because I know he was in London during a war, but I don't, and I know that one of his stories, I mean, it like traumatized my little sister because she had to ask him questions as part of like a school assignment, like for like surviving war veterans. You have to like,
God, that's a dark assignment.
Yeah, right?
I kind of
Especially
love
for
it.
third grade.
Yeah. She was little. She
Wow,
was
that's
around
crazy.
there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. It
Wait,
was
really? That was making a joke?
No, it was legitimately around like it was in elementary school.
Yeah. Yeah, like traumatizing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, if we want, this is like a little bit of a segue into
Yeah.
yeah, and then you get your wine because I'm going to open
Oh
this.
my gosh,
yeah.
great.
Because it's time to have
It's
a glass
time
of
to,
wine.
yeah, we need
some
liquid.
Oh, I don't want to like take over your podcast.
No, but you go ahead and usually while wine gets to while wine gets to be, I haven't even had a drink yet. This is our first one of the night. While Shaughn is opening that, why don't you tell us what your wine with an H?
Oh yes. So I'll tell you the little sister story in a way to segue into what our topic is, and it was just that my grandfather was in London during some of the bombings, I guess, and and this story I remember from childhood-ish, so it might be incorrect, but he was a nurse and he had just like tended to a family whose building had been bombed, and then he got up and he started walking back towards his base or whatever, and then he heard in the background another plane come by and drop bombs right behind him, and turned around and they'd all been
Jeez.
That is what he told my little sister when she was like
in third grade.
something like that, like 6 or 7.
A lot of times people don't want to talk about that who've been to war. You know, they're more like, let's not discuss.
Right.
So in a way, I'm interesting that he was able to talk about it and kind of like compartmentalize it, I guess, enough so that he could have a conversation around it.
It's strange. I don't know how he could reconcile that kind of memory.
Yeah, I don't know how I could either.
Yeah. Oh, but
I can't even imagine. And segue into your wine.
This goes well into your wine because
so my wine with an H.
if you happen to be those people that's behind him,
right. It's if you are listening, it's about not knowing what happens after death and being frustrated about that.
the lack of information.
There's a lot to whine about around that.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I think so. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I was trying to think of what I would want to whine about, and besides something about Michael Gambon's Dumbledore performance being like the bane of my existence.
And poor Anne, I was like, I don't know anything about that.
I think this is good. I think this means you're not enabling.
Yeah.
Well, your wine gave us a really exciting opportunity to blind taste because we don't know what's in the bottle.
We don't know what we're
And
drinking.
I can.
We don't know what we're drinking, you
We
guys.
thought if you can deal with my dorkiness, I would take us all through like the bare bones of how at least I learned to blind taste.
Deductive reasoning of wine
This is
tasting.
so
yeah,
exciting.
so we don't know what we're drinking. So this has been wrapped without our knowledge. Thank you, Brennan, for
Thank you,
wrapping
Brennan.
wrapping the bottle
Thank
of
you,
wine.
Greg Condas, our sponsor,
Thank
for
you, Greg
sending
Condas.
us the wine.
Yeah.
I'm really scared. I mean, this is cheating a little. I can see by the shape of the bottle. I know one thing I can say. It's probably not.
Yeah, it's probably not
A Burgundy.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
It's probably not a Pinot Noir Burgundy.
Oh,
It's definitely not a Chardonnay because it's red.
nice.
Yeah. So we'll start with the. Should we all cheers? and
Yeah.
just
Let's
take a
Cheers
sip?
first, yeah.
And then we'll get into how you blind taste.
Best summer of our lives.
Some of our lives. I'm ready for fall.
Love it.
That's my slurping.
I like this.
That's how you aerate. You kind of like aerate it through. Because, like 75% of how you taste is a smell.
The
Yeah.
times I've like gotten wines like right off the bat on the nose is usually I've just looked at them and smelled it and I'm like, that's it's usually Cab Franc.
Yeah, that's that.
I get it.
I did the horrible rookie mistake of brushing my teeth a little too
no.
soon. I mean, it was like a half an hour ago, but it's still too
it.
soon.
Yeah. Well, we can start with what you do normally, and once again, the goblets are not good for analyzing, but you look at the color. This is a almost garnet kind of red.
I'll give you that.
I'd say medium intensity. It's not really it's pretty full red, but it's got a little bit of a watery rim to it. I can't really see what the legs are like in these goblets.
Ooh, what is that?
The tears.
What is legs?
Legs
oh,
is how
Along
much it
the
sticks
side.
to the
Oh, brilliant.
Which doesn't mean anything about quality or anything. It just means how viscous the wine is.
Yeah, yeah.
And how much alcohol? Because like heavier tears, like slower tears will mean more booze.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if there's like a lot of like tears on the glass, like the legs, and they call them legs.
Yeah.
The more alcohol.
Oh, interesting.
So would you all agree with the garnet of the?
I would agree with the garnet. Yeah, I'm still I'm just learning the classifications for because there are like ways to learn. Like there's like certain words that they use to describe
I'm taking
color.
us through the W sets way, because we have. Although when this airs, we will know the Court of Master Sommelier's technique.
Spooky.
It's very similar to the W sets, but yeah, they have like red is either supposed to be medium or intense or pale. Although a pale red would be a rosé,
Right.
but then you have to say whether it's slightly purple red or ruby red, or then you go into garnet, and then you go into like freaking brown, and you're like, that wine's out of condition.
Right?
Oh my
What do you
gosh.
think, Anne?
Well, I wanted
Initial
to
tastings.
confess something real quick to give you a context of. Well, it's not anything that has to do with today.
Okay, you're like I saw the bottle.
I'm a
I know
ghost.
what it is.
Oh my god!
That would be exactly how I
Is
confessed
this
I was a
future
ghost.
and
Yes, everyone's future is just them as a ghost, and that actually checks out logically. Like at some point, our future is just a ghost, right?
Right? It really is.
Kind of.
Or unless
yeah.
ghosts. Oh my God!
What?
I didn't even mean for this to line up. We decided on this topic before I trespassed in Bela Lugosi's castle.
What?
It's half built, and there's a creepy.
Where?
It's amazing. It's in the hills, and
Yeah.
it's a lot. Oh, but what I was going to confess was that for Sunday Company, we had to do concessions for like our opening nights or for main company. Like you'd pour wine for people, and like just sort of make them comfortable in the lobby. And we were supposed to have a rosé, and we did not. And I was like, I hate that we have to do this stupid task. So we just like poured red and white wine together, and like people still drank it.
A wine criminal.
I know.
Oh
And
my god!
I was like, so it was like that thing of like when a serial killer walks around right after doing something and feels like this buzz. Like I was like, yeah, you rosé
you
drinkers.
suckers. That was probably me. Like, this is a fun rosé. A little tonic.
Nobody liked it. I think people are more smart than I knew. No, everyone was like, thanks. And
Did it look the color of rosé?
sort of.
Yeah.
I guess.
God.
I mean, I don't know anything about wine.
A lot of time, I mean, like that is a style kind of making rosé.
Rosé
Really?
champagne is made with both red and white wine. Most
Kinda
rosés
mix
are
it,
made just
yeah.
with red.
But I don't know if you mix it before you ferment. I think you mix
think-
before you
Well,
ferment.
I think they make the wines separately, then
Oh, yeah?
mix them, then the second fermentation.
Oh, yeah, the second
But
fermentation
I
of it.
think they usually start with fermenting them separately.
Yeah.
Although sometimes in the Côte Rôtie in the northern Rhone Valley, they sometimes co-ferment Syrah with Viognier, tiny
yeah.
bits of Viognier.
Well, Viognier brings out like a lot
Viognier
of
being
like,
a
the
white
floral.
grape and Syrah being red.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, well, like it's common to put a little bit of Viognier in with Syrah, I guess. It's kind of a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Anyway, what were
Yeah,
you saying about
my
Bela?
take
Yeah.
about-
Like Bela Lugosi's.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So he started building a castle. I haven't researched this online. I just know because it's in the area of my boyfriend's house, and someone who like does the architecture there or does like landscaping there knows the backstory, because there's this hill, and at the top of the hill there's this stone, like what would this be, like just an entranceway, like a stone entranceway with a circular, like a round opening in the front, and that's sort of all you can see from underneath the hill, and it's a very steep hill. And so, like, it's not accessible to the public, and there are houses on either side where you'd be trespassing if you used their stairs. So, like, you have to, like, scrabble up a hill, which I did a little bit stoned, and
There you go.
a lot of
Yeah.
it, like, with a little bit, like, you know, when you're avoiding 1,000 tasks, and
Yeah.
you're like, I'm going to climb up a wall, and I just did that, and there was, like, nettles everywhere, and I was
my
like, who
God.
cares?
Yeah.
I will never die. And I got up to the top.
I'm a ghost. Like, they can't kill me.
Do this.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to the top, and it was like night, and it was beautiful, and like the city of LA was like out in the distance with this, and you can see like cars like kind of snaking around the hillsides with their headlights on, and then you turn around and it's this like entranceway, and I walked through it, and there's like gravel, and there's this old can that's like there's no debris of people loitering. There's zero
Yeah, so
from
people
today.
aren't going there
like
and hanging out
people,
there.
yeah. So I'm like somewhat reticent to give like any details about where
Yeah.
this is, but the can was like completely rusted. You couldn't tell what it was. Like, it was clearly from like that time. And then you go in and you walk up this little bit of a steep entranceway, and it's just the foundation of the castle. So there's like a rock, stone outcroppings in a large rectangle, and at the end of it was this glimmering white thing, and I like turned my phone on, my flashlight, and aimed it that way. And you guys, it looks at once very old and also very clean and untouched. An old marble angel statue.
What?
Just staring back at me from across the empty.
I just got chills.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I felt like...
Is it exposed to the air? Or
yeah. Well, it's underneath some stone. Like, there's
Yeah.
a stone arch, and then underneath it is this angel. But I'm sure it's been, like, rained on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's taking everything in me right
Wow.
now not to burst into the Bauhaus Bela Lugosi's song.
What is that?
It's a Bauhaus song called Bela Lugosi's Dead. It's this pretty famous.
What?
You know Ellen is a goth, right?
I
You
had to
know,
find
Ellen's a
some reason for you to
recovering
throw
goth,
this in. She was asking me if
You
I
know,
did.
it was a little heavy-handed, honestly, but I
No,
will
but
say
I
it.
actually am
Ellen is
sitting
a
here
goth.
going Bela Lugosi's
Yeah,
Dead.
I mean, she was like, I have to say
That's
it. I have to
amazing.
say it. I usually like to sneak it in.
Oh, that's so
I just
cool.
wanted to make it easy for you.
Oh, my God.
Should we move on to step 2 of
Yes.
I don't know.
the blind
That's crazy.
tasting?
Crazy story, though, Ann.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
crazy
know.
story. Sorry to commandeer the wine
No,
tasting.
no, no.
do
I wanted to hear
This is a good wine.
It is.
That's my input.
So next, like, usually is the nose, although
Okay.
you stick your nose in and take some whiffs, and the W sets you say the wine is clean, which means like it's not a faulty wine. At
What
least
if...
Yeah.
So you say it's clean as opposed to, like, the cup is dirty,
It's
or...
not fucked up. It's not like
yeah,
corked.
you would just say faulty.
Oh.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
faulty, yeah.
for the test, faulty, but they're never going to give you a faulty wine on the test.
Yeah.
Probably not.
And it's like medium intensity. I'm getting a lot of berries on the nose.
I'm getting berry on the nose.
These are like the worst.
What do you
glasses.
think? What do you think, Ann?
I'm getting berry. I'm getting...
What are you getting on the palate?
Ooh, on the palate. Alcohol
Yeah.
and...
It's full of that.
Right? There's some in there.
On
There's
the
some alcohol
palate,
in
that
there.
actually is when you do the W sets. So on the palate, people are like, "Oh, I never know how to describe the flavors," and that's like one of the least important things because you go through sweetness, acidity, tannins, alcohol level,
Oh, really?
body, flavor intensity, actual flavors, finish. You go through all that, and then
In my mouth, yeah.
For me, it feels like it has a light body and a lot of acidity, but I might be crazy.
Maybe wrong. I'm going to agree with you on the acidity. I get some acidity for sure. I'm also getting a little bit of... I'm getting tannin.
I'm getting a lot of tannin.
Yeah.
Like this,
Which makes me
this
think-
wine is young and it needs time. That's another
Yeah.
thing you have to evaluate. You say whether the wine is ready to drink, past condition, drink now, could age, drink now, don't age.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that part.
Wow.
That's part of the W sets. I don't know if the Court Masters has that. That's one of the things you have to say on the tests.
I don't know if I would drink this wine necessarily. I think I would be...
I'd say you drink now.
I drink now, but also
I would
maybe-
age.
Yeah, I would age. I could age this wine.
Would you age it? You have to, when you open a wine, this is very remedial
no,
wine
no.
questions. I'm sure that,
I think most people listening to this are not.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a question that they might ask. So I'm speaking for the people, and I'm a hero.
And a ghost.
I'm a hero and a ghost. Hello. I am
Ghost
Casper.
hero.
I just
new
want to say
video
thank
game.
you. Thank you for speaking to the people.
It's hard, but I'm
Yeah.
brave. So when you open a bottle of wine, it's good for how long? Like 2 weeks?
It depends. It really depends on the wine. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It totally depends on the wine.
Yeah.
Some wine will start to go bad, quote unquote, or start to taste horribly in like a half an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A vintage port you want to suck down right away.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is wild.
Yeah, yeah. I've been like if you open, I've opened vintage wine before,
Yeah.
where like
Yeah.
you've had like 3 sips, you're like, this is incredible, and then it just crashes because the
Dies.
oxygen will
Wow.
instantly just kind of kill it.
Like
yeah.
when the ghosts start getting aged in Beetlejuice,
It's exactly what it's like,
right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
you just
exactly what
see its
like, yeah.
life going out in front
It
of
gets
your eyes.
sucked out, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Wow.
That's a sad. I love that movie, but
I
I'm
love
sad
that
part.
movie. It is a sad part.
I really got upset by that.
Yeah.
But like some wines will be good for like a week even open if they
Okay.
have the right structure and it's the right time and
They're kept at the right
they're kept at
temperature.
the right temperature. They
and
never
maybe
get hot.
sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like some wines will just kind of keep changing and like That's why a lot of times you decant a wine to kind
Yeah.
of get oxygen, get it moving around, because it'll start to kind of blow off anything and get it sort of like the flavors kind of can meld in a little bit. Because like for this, for me, I'm getting a lot of tannin and the acidity. I'm guessing it's Old World is my
Oh
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my thought if someone were like, I'm feeling like this is Italian.
Really?
I'm feeling. I don't know. That's my.
Is that your...
No.
That's your
We should
guess?
wait till the very end,
Yeah.
and we
You
can
can
all make
start
our
to have your
guesses.
ideas. But it's
I mean,
so
that's
funny,
my,
you know, like to tie it...
I'm not. I'm used to writing down the. I'm discombobulated to do my technical analysis because I'm like, I haven't thought about alcohol level or finish. Like it feels high tannin, it feels pretty high alcohol. It could be a Sangiovese.
Could be. Yeah.
It could be. It could even be a very, very young Barbaresco.
Oh. I don't know if I put a Barbaresco in this.
I don't feel
particular
like
bottle.
there's enough flowers in it to be a Barbaresco or a Barolo.
But to me, I feel like in all this stuff, it's like deductive reasoning. Like this brings it back to your wine about we can do all this stuff about what
Yeah,
happens
but you
after we
can't-
die.
Yeah.
But like we don't know. And all
Right.
these things are all just tools we use to try and suss it out and to try and figure it out. But at the end of the day, we won't know until we take off the aluminum foil around this wine.
The frustration I have about my wine is the frustration you guys have until you open that wine or until you take the foil
Yeah.
off.
We're like,
Yeah.
oh, what is that? What is
What
it?
is
Yeah.
it? Could be this,
But-
could be that. I heard this, I feel that.
It's like you can't get little tastes of death, though. Well, I mean, you can, though. Has anyone had a near-death experience?
not personally, no.
Ellen has.
Really?
No, I mean, I've never had. I have not technically died.
I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, Ellen has.
I had a major brain trauma once that put me out of it for 4 days, in which I
What?
basically feel like if death is like that, then it's just
Wow.
nothing. But
Okay, what happened?
I
If
kind of
you don't have to.
I fell off like a 10-foot ledge and landed, I guess, first on my hand and then on my head. And all I know is that about 4 days in, I just have this memory. I'm in the hospital and my family's all there, and I'm having some soup fed to me, which I know was 4 days. Apparently, for the first 4 days, every time I woke up, I was like, what's going on? Like, I have no memory of the accident. I have no memory of any of it.
Oh my god!
But I'm like, I always thought after that, it kind of made me not fear death. that wasn't
that's
an
so
actual near-death
interesting.
experience.
No, but
It was-
that sounds.
it was what I feel like it
pretty
must be like to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do know a person who did die. His heart stopped, and he has no memory of anything happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot like, you know, where were you during the Industrial Revolution? Like, you have no memory of it.
Yeah,
Right.
It's the same thing, I would think. You know,
Yeah.
there's no memory of not being here. It's just not being
you're
here.
not there.
But I
Yeah.
think we spend all this time, and I guess rightly so, trying to like deduce and figure it out and ask ourselves these questions. But I think that's more about appreciating like the moment and
Yeah.
like what's currently happening.
Yeah.
I think all those like deductive reasoning things just kind of make it more about the present, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that the like finiteness of life helps you really like not take it for granted, but I also know that like part of being able to live is like the tacit ability to take it for granted.
Right,
Like
right.
to like not ask this question every moment of every day, but like maybe begin and end every day with a little reflection on death,
Right.
but not let that like color everything.
Did you have many people in your life like
No.
Skinny Deep Sorry die, or
No,
like have you known many
actually.
people that died?
I haven't. I feel like I've been very like lucky in terms of that so far. I mean, I know that we're all gonna experience that a lot
Right.
by the end, but I'm planning on dying young, so it's gonna be fine.
All right, great.
But like, do you feel like you would live your life differently if you knew what would happen? If you knew what happened?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it, right? Like
Yeah.
if there wasn't a question, like if we knew.
exactly.
if you knew you were going to come back as a kitty cat, you'd be like,
Oh yeah.
we'd all be killing ourselves.
I just love all those cats. I'd be like, give me your
yeah.
cat. Love every cat until I die.
Oh yeah, I feel the same way about dogs. I want to hang out with every. It makes me really sad that I can't meet every dog.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
I love dogs.
They're great. They're so good. Yeah, I always like the idea of like my fantasy is like after death you like get to ask all the questions about like you get all the spoilers from the world.
Oh my
Like you
God.
get to sit in a room and some guy with a projector is like, "What do you want to know?" And you're like,
Area 51.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It exists.
What's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
Who killed JFK?
Did Trump really know what he was doing? Was he in on it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just like give me context for my
Interesting.
existence.
Would that be like God with the PowerPoint? Are you religious at all?
Not really.
Were you ever? Were you raised with any religion?
Both of my parents were raised in like religious households, but neither of them took to it. But my mom I think, enjoyed the structure of like going somewhere with an open heart once a week and talking about spirituality. So she became, for a little while, a Unitarian when me and my little sister were young, and we'd go to Sunday school there, which is basically you learn about all the other religions. You just like go and visit other churches, or you learn about other faiths, and you learn about just like
That feels very
respect
inclusive,
and inclusivity and just like figure yourself out. But I think a lot of, from my experience, it felt like a lot of Unitarians are people who were raised with religion, who found themselves to be outside of the demographic that religion usually like helps, like for some reason of like a lot of like gay people, a lot of people who like cannot for one or another reason subscribe to the guilt process that religion instills. But I mean, I might be talking out my butt. That's just my memories from childhood.
Yeah. That feels right.
Right?
Yeah. I think,
yeah.
there's like a whole, sect of like religion, I think, that is very inclusive.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know why all of them aren't. It's
Right. Like some of them are built on the idea of not being.
Yeah,
or,
which is like, I don't know how anyone doesn't see the transparency of that and how like full of shit those people are.
Right? It feels like the more, I don't know. I mean, like I'm just some asshole, but I feel like, so my mom now is Buddhist and my dad is very agnostic, and my sister and I just sort of wander around. So, yeah. How about you guys?
Raised in a very Methodist church. Like it was a very loving, diverse community. It still is. My mom is always like, well, if we weren't Methodist, I would be going to like the Unitarian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very open-minded. Like when my dad and I have talked about sort of what we believe, or at least for me, maybe more what I sort of hope to think. It sounds very similar, except for they also believe in Jesus and like give things names. And I'm kind of like, I feel like there's maybe some sort of power pushing things around out there, but I don't think of it as God, and I don't necessarily know it is, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, I mean, I believe they just raised me. I don't know. I was lucky. I went to a nice Christian church where they were just like, be nice to other people, be nice to yourself, golden rule.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, that's great if all religion was like, I wish all organized religion were like that. But
where it's like, I feel like you can believe a very specific thing and believe that that's correct, but still be and use that specific thing to influence the way that you interact with others and be very positive and affirming person.
Yeah, I was raised Lutheran in like a very inclusive church too.
Right.
Like the pastor was like all love, super great, and it was a great introduction to religion for me.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I never had I know so many people that just
hell
have
and
so much
brimstone.
like venom towards religion.
But then I had like a stepdad who kind of like got like used religion to manipulate people. So then it was like in like mega churches and all that kind of stuff. And
those are scary.
They're scary.
They're really scary
because it's this ideology and it's this. It can be used as a tool to like oppress people and to manipulate people, and it's I've seen it firsthand. With my mom, and it just is like, this is gross. And so now basically, I guess I meditate a lot, so I don't know if that's Buddhism, but
man, I always mean to do that.
I
always mean to do it.
Join us in the TM calls. We're
keep meaning to do that meditating.
Oh, I write it down every week.
Day. It's on my list. It's on my list.
I downloaded the Headspace app, and then it just sat on my phone for a year. Did not open it. I was like, did it, and then just like let time go by.
Never mind.
Right?
And meditation never took with me till I did the TM thing.
What's
and
the
it's
TM thing?
like transcendental meditation. For all that we're like, no organized religion. We're both TM. I mean, it's not religion, but we both do TM.
Yeah, but it's all. I mean, today I was Googling and like, I'm gonna Google what happens after we die.
Yeah.
And of course, like
anything good?
Oprah pops up. It's like one of the first.
Oprah happens after you die. What? You go to heaven with Oprah. She's God.
She's God. Well,
I thought it meant you get a turn at being her.
You get to go to heaven, and you get to go to heaven.
You're gonna have it. No, I just thought it fitting that like the first links that pop up would be like Oprah interviews. I'm like, of course Oprah's like delved into this.
Oh,
and I'm gonna go to the Oprah Oracle, the Oprah.
Yeah. What did she say? I'm like tripping over my words with excitement about what Oprah says about after death.
Right. I mean, it was just a lot about appreciating the now, being present, not comparing yourself to other people, be happy with what you have, take every moment precious. And it's so easy to say, and it's like getting, but like really trying to embrace the now, but also that the death as like a a marker, as like a pole for us, just makes living, makes living possible. So like without death, there is no living.
Right.
So you have to have that in order to be able to live. So there's no way to, disassociate them. It just is.
Yeah.
And that death just is. She had a lot of interviews with a lot of people on, and it was just...
That's rad.
Yeah, it was like she kept like kind of like bringing it back and keeping it simple and, being grateful and being present. And
That's great.
it's the hardest thing to do, though. It's really the hardest thing to do.
About it. I'm the worst at it. I'm like, let's be present for 1 second. Nope, I have 3 stories.
Right? and it's funny. And as creative people, you spend a lot of time using your imagination. That's going to happen in that perspective as well. When you think about death, you're going to use your imagination in that way.
Right.
Which can be good and bad.
Right.
But it also, it's hard to sort of like train the imagination to sort of bring it back to present. Anyway. Yeah.
If we're going to come back to the present, let's finish our let's
should we analyze?
So we hadn't talked a lot about what we taste on this wine.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's
so
it's about
tannic.
you. The show's about you, Anne. It's not about the wine.
Sorry.
Those are the words that everyone has to say to me to get me off. That's awful. This isn't the show for that. You guys are sophisticated, and I'm just like, I made a giorno this week.
Just turned into a mean girl.
That's
Truly
amazing.
did.
Truly
do.
A lot of like dark cherry and black raspberry.
Yeah, I get dark cherry. I get
Some
the slightest
earth.
bit of like anise in there too.
Oh, a little bit of earth. Finish isn't exceptionally long.
No.
I just feel like this wine is too young. Maybe we're gonna open it. It's gonna be like 2006 Zinfandel, tricked out.
Right.
Or it's
I think
2018.
it's old world.
I think it's-
and I'm truth be told, I am familiar with Gregory's book.
Oh yeah.
So I have an idea of what exact wine it is.
Is it Italian?
And I don't think it's Italian.
Oh fuck.
I think I'm pretty sure it's French. I think it's a Bordeaux. I think it's a Chateau Trupad.
Is it a right bank? Is it more of a Cab Franc based one?
I don't remember.
It's just so tannic. It has a little bit of the cassis that I would think of for Bordeaux.
The cassis, yeah, that's what I would think of.
What is a cassis?
It's like the liqueur.
Oh, like the
Creme de cassis.
Oh, don't know that either.
But I'm guessing this would
Sometimes
be
they mix it in champagne.
a left bank Bordeaux. Then?
I think it's a
'Cause
left bank
it's
Bordeaux
not
that they have.
Merlot-y at all.
but then you said Italian, and I was like, oh fuck, it could be Italian.
Well, the color makes me think it's the garnet color that makes me go
I know.
to Sangiovese or
I know.
Nebbiolo. It's the color.
I know.
Oh my God, I love
what
this.
happens when we die? I don't know.
You guys,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's French.
You think it's French?
No, I have no idea.
Come on, you have to guess.
Okay,
something.
I'm gonna guess. I saw the documentary Somme.
There you go.
So I know what I'm talking about
Yes,
now.
she does.
I think that it is. Here's the thing. I have worked in enough fancy ass restaurants that I should know half a thing about wine. And yet I did that thing of like when you just, it felt like diving right into the deep end.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I got to rote memory this. I got to do cue cards and I can't give a shit. Like I just got to, which is pretty sacrilegious considering this is I love the experience of it and talking about it and hearing other people's like experience with the same wine that I'm drinking. Like I see the value in it.
Yeah,
I think
it's fun to do like tasting groups,
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
We're about to be tasting with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
and like I love wine people. I love tasting with wine people.
It is a little ridiculous, but
It can get a little ridiculous depending on who you're doing it with.
Really? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
so I
imagine.
like tasting with Gregory Condes is really fun. Because he's a very, very, intelligent person, knows a ton about wine, but also has a great sense about it. And everyone's perspective is really welcome. And it's true with wine. Like, people can say things like,
you can't tell someone they're wrong if they taste blah,
That
blah,
is
blah.
nice.
You can't tell them they're wrong. Like, it's...
I taste root beer
Okay.
and foot. Just kidding. I don't taste either of those things. Those are just
We
the first two
translate
things.
that to anise and earth. You have to learn how to translate. It's like you translate cat pee to asparagus.
Ooh.
Translation.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a lot of looking at Cobell.
Unless you're talking about the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, and then it's cat piss on the gooseberry bush.
Ooh,
Always.
shots fired.
cat piss on a
No,
gooseberry.
that's classic, classic Somme description.
Wow. Is like, oh, this is
not
New
kidding.
Zealand. And then I forgot what kind of wine it was just now.
Savvy B.
Savvy B, Sauvignon
Savvy
Blanc.
B.
Blanc.
Cat piss on a gooseberry.
So true.
You're so cat piss on a gooseberry right now.
Sorry to be such a savvy
Are
bee.
you saying I'm a white from New Zealand? Is that what you're saying? Oh, dear.
You're a white from New Zealand.
I did spend 3 years there, so I'm a little bit of a savvy bee.
What? Really?
From when I was like 10 to when I was 13.
Are you like a military
What, north
kid?
or south?
No, my dad had like a job opening there. He had
Cool.
a job that we could have stayed in Denver, but I think my mom caught wind of there being a position in New Zealand and was like, "We gotta go."
Mom's like,
Was it
"We out."
gorgeous?
Yeah, we out. It was amazing. It was everything that you want it to be.
Well, should we do lightning round and then open to see what we're drinking? Or?
Sure, should we do it? Any final thoughts for you? What you think it is, Anne?
Maybe let's just say, what are you both guessing?
I'm guessing it's Italian. I'm guessing it's fuck. It's a Nebbiolo. That's my guess.
Okay.
Final guess. It's a Nebbiolo of some type from somewhere in Italy.
Wow.
Northern Italy.
I think I'm just gonna say it's a Pinot Noir, and I know that's definitely wrong, but that's the red wine I know.
Okay.
They haven't put Pinot Noirs in these shaped bottles since like the 70s.
Ooh, I'm changing my guess.
Yeah.
But if we were doing this blind, they would have. If we'd been really doing this the
doing
way
it
we
blind,
should,
yeah.
we would have had Brennan put it in a different bottle.
Decanter.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a,
It's going to be an Oregon Pinot Noir.
yeah. You know what? I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it's from
All
Oregon.
right.
An Oregon
and it's a
Pinot
Pinot Noir.
And your final guess is exactly which cab it is.
I think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. I have concerns, but I think it's
Let's
the
keep the
Bordeaux. I think it's the
suspense
Chateau Trupad.
Let's keep the suspense up a few minutes longer. Do
Okay.
lightning round.
Lightning round.
What's lightning round?
Where we ask you wine questions.
Oh, spookily bad.
Who knows what happens if you answer wrong?
I'm going in with a very good attitude, but very aware that I am going to fail this, but it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
First question.
Yes, please.
What year did the Judgment of Paris happen?
Ooh, the Judgment of Paris, 1851.
1976.
I hear Paris and I think 18th century, baby.
Bastille Day.
What was that? What is that? Not Bastille Day, but the thing I just guessed.
First of all, I really appreciate you jumping in with an answer, like right off the
just
bat.
lightning round it up.
Yeah.
You definitely lightning rounded
We
it.
take our time with our lightning.
Yeah, a lot of times
Oh,
it's...
shoot. Is this an open question for everyone?
No. We know the
Okay,
answer.
I felt like a
we know the answer.
monster.
No.
Like a spooky monster.
Monsters are welcome on the Halloween episode. I love it.
I love it.
So
Yeah.
the Judgment of Paris in 1976, there was like a blind wine judging thing, and two California wines beat both a Burgundy and a Bordeaux, and people were like, California wine can be good.
That's
That was-
amazing.
Yeah, that was the first time like French people were like, "Oh, we made like this. We don't know how do you say delicious."
Oh,
Delicious.
wow.
Yeah.
So it was a blind tasting, and French people didn't even choose the French wine.
Word.
What?
Exactly.
This is going to be wine from Missouri, guys, that we're drinking. My home state. This is going to be Norden. Should we do another question?
Go for it. Hit it.
Oh, yeah. What's the difference between what we're drinking out of the goblets are neither a Burgundy nor a Bordeaux glass, but do you know what the difference between a wine glass designed for Burgundy or Bordeaux is? And why they're that way?
I don't, but should I guess?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm going to guess that a Bordeaux is lighter, and thus the glass might be a little bit less tall.
If you kind of like reverse both of those,
Great. So the Bordeaux is a little bit darker.
it's a little bit fuller wine.
Yeah.
And it's the glass is going to be a little narrower, whereas
Okay.
Burgundy needs a little more breathing room. So the base of it's going to be a little wider to let some air and to bring out those notes of the berries and such, and then it'll be funneled up. So I love drinking everything out of a Burgundy glass personally.
A lot of wine nerds like Burgundy glasses.
Why not use a Burgundy glass for everything? What benefit benefits.
Because people are idiots. Well, sometimes
People are
Ooh, hot
dumb.
takes.
Shade.
I would use it. I
It's so
mean,
cold over here in the shade, in that wine shade.
some white wines are and chilled wines. I feel like are better in a narrower glass. But I love the Burgundy glass.
Ooh.
Yeah, like Burgundy glasses are those kind of bulbous ones that have like the round sort of, and they come to a point at the top.
Oh, okay.
And Bordeaux glasses are more like a chimney, like a shaft.
Okay.
Like that.
Great.
So the thought is that like with the Burgundy glass, you have all that extra surface area, and then it comes to a point. So it's like a
More
microscope. So you can
aeration.
kind of zoom in on different aspects of the wine easier. Like more
The
more
Pinot is
nose
a little more
things
delicate.
come out more. Whereas with the like Bordeaux glass, it's more of like a shaft. So it's like a bigger wine.
Yeah.
So you need more air around your nose.
And the other reason, the reason the bottles are shaped differently, the reason the Bordeaux bottles have
Yes.
what's called shoulders, like the bottle we're looking at, whereas Pinot Noir glass is sloped, is because
Except for this one, which is totally a Pinot Noir.
totally a Pinot.
Except
It's a
for this
rebel.
Oregon
It's a
Pinot.
rebel Oregon Pinot, but I heard it was because you more often have to decant a cab or something like that, so the shoulders give you like room as you're slowly decanting to see the sediment.
sediment,
This
yeah.
is one thing I've heard. I could be wrong.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like sometimes they just like made a bottle and then
And then
people
they
are like,
made up a
oh, this
reason.
worked out.
Yeah.
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 I think it's a little bit more of an accident.
Do you want to
That
ask
happened.
the next question?
You ready for the final?
I am.
Or not the final, but like the second to last.
The penultimate.
Yeah, it's the penultimate.
I'm so bad at wine, I have to brag about knowing words.
Ooh.
I love it.
Well, since you saw the movie Somm,
Yes.
and we're going to take that accreditation, the Court of Masters, that's what we're going to
We're
take
taking
tomorrow.
the intro level.
Yeah.
That's what you're taking tomorrow?
Not the final fancy
yeah.
one. There's 3 levels. We're taking the first level.
Wow, but
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
They don't blind taste us on this one. They teach us
No.
their method, but to pass the test, we don't have to blind.
I'm very excited for you guys.
Well, do
gonna
you
be fun.
know?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Do you know how many actual master sommeliers there are who have actually made it through all 3 levels, like in the movie, and how many have passed?
Oh, I should know this. I'm going to say either 6 or 12.
Oh no, more than that.
Really?
Yeah, more.
Yeah.
It's under 200.
Maybe in the U.S., I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's probably more.
187?
Ooh, close.
How many?
149.
Nice.
Do you know how many are women?
How many are women?
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no. I'm so bummed out. Well,
Negative
30.
3.
Right in between there, 24?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What a world.
I know.
What a world.
I'm here to change things.
I believe in
wine
you.
For women.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in you so hard. You got this.
WFW. Mm-hmm. Wine
What?
for women.
Wow.
We should do
Woman
like,
friend wine.
Wine for
Day.
women. My new
Wine for
podcast, Wine for Women.
Welcome back to Wine for
We
Women.
are all just drinking the skinny girl again.
What, I'm just like
amazing.
your gay friend. You're like, oh, he's my gay.
He's my gay
Yeah.
My
friend.
gay over there.
Yeah.
He's
it's like-
allowed to be here because he's.
Thanks,
no, it's
guys.
not like that. I have a lot of. I have a lot of wine friends that are female.
I thought you were going to say, I have a lot of gay friends and you wouldn't be my choice.
You just happen to know enough about wine. Oh.
You would not be my.
And I'm sorry, but you're not my token gay friend.
I'm so
Sorry, Shaughn.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's not.
I did choose you though.
I didn't want
to
it.
do this.
I didn't want it, but now that I don't have it, now that I'm upset. It's funny how that works out.
Guys, let's fucking find out what's in this bottle.
Do it. What are we doing?
Killing me.
Oh, this is so
Oh
exciting.
God, I'm so scared. I've been so scared all day.
Anticipation.
Rocky Horror
Rocky
right there.
Horror. I'm just a sweet transvestite
Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me
from Transylvania. Oh, you fucking got it.
What is it?
Whoa.
Baby! Nice!
Wow.
Wow, that was
Wow.
amazing.
Well, we can tell who passed her blind tasting on
did it,
Debbie's at
guys.
advanced level.
You're
yo.
amazing.
It was the color, you guys.
First of all, I can't believe. I just wouldn't have guessed that Gregory Condes would have sent us the Azalea Barolo.
This is an exceptional Barolo, right?
This is an exceptional Barolo.
What
This
is
we're drinking
It needs
exceptional
time.
wine.
You guys, we should have. Oh, it's 2013. Barolos need like 10 years, so
Yeah.
we're drinking this. But fuck a.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
so excited he sent us this.
Wow, yeah, I'm so
Wow.
excited too. Like, and now I'm just like, oh, this is such a great wine.
It's such a great one.
Well, that explains a lot. Yeah, Nebbiolo, you called it for sure.
I love that knowing the type of wine makes the wine and the experience different for you guys.
Yeah,
It really does.
Like,
You
that's
wanna-
great. I would love some more.
Well,
I
part
love
of-
the
yeah.
wine.
Well,
I
part
love
of my
it.
deductive reasoning was that I'm like, there's no way it's
Thank you.
that.
I was just like,
And I was like, and I was also thinking, what are the Italian wines that he has that you probably would have thrown in there? And I just wouldn't have assumed that it would have been this.
Yeah.
It was
what I
the
mean?
combination of the color and the tannins. I'm like, I can't see this being anything else than like.
High five, Ellen.
Thank you.
Good job. Awesome.
That was so impressive.
very
I feel so
impressive.
validated about life now.
You should.
You guys
should
are
feel validated
experts.
about wine.
But I can see how the cab thoughts would come to you,
Yeah.
the Bordeaux.
Especially
Especially
like,
because
is
you
he
know
like a
his.
young Bordeaux?
Have you actually tasted this from his library before, or is that just one you've seen on the list and been like, ooh, I want to get that bottle? This is an expensive fucking bottle of wine.
It is an expensive
Wow.
bottle of wine. Yeah. I don't think I have tasted this actually. And I know I've had a lot of the Azalea. The Azalea stuff is all really great, but I don't think I've had the Barolo.
I have to
now I
get a
have.
picture of it.
Yeah.
now
it's
you
great.
have. Oh, it's so
Oh,
exciting.
wow.
So exciting.
2013 Barolo. It's the Nebbiolo grape
Yeah.
Nebbiolo.
from the
Ne-
Piedmont.
From the Piedmont.
From the Piedmont.
So in like Piedmont, there's like Barolo and Barbaresco, and then like the Langhe is a region around it. There's
Okay.
a bunch of Nebbiolo they grow up there. Like
So-
that's like the main grape they grow for all those wines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Nebbiolo is the type of grape that they grow for the wine in this area that the winery is in.
I forgot
That-
to mention
yeah.
the one other thing that led me to think not Bordeaux is I didn't taste oak on it.
Oh yeah.
And they're usually like that's another like one of those deductive things. You're like, how much oak influence is there? And like,
Oh,
you don't.
yeah.
Whereas- I mean, there's some new Barolos that are aging things in new oak more, like to be more modern. But like, yeah, I feel like you'd get that more on a cab.
I like it.
I like it too.
I like it. Well, on that note, we're going to ask you the final question.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just what's bringing you some joy,
Yeah.
some happiness.
really?
Just like,
Just- yeah.
Just
Oh,
that.
my
last
gosh.
question.
That's wonderful.
She's sighing like such a breath of relief.
Yes, like after.
Stop torturing me.
I know.
No, it's not torture. I just feel like an
We'll
asshole
take
because
the
my
handcuffs off in a minute.
my only modes are like be like kind of a facetious know-it-all or like make fun of myself for not knowing something.
No,
so
this
like
is a-
I feel bad for you guys to be subjected to Anne who doesn't know the answer.
No,
No, I love it.
I love it.
I like that you answer.
Although-
Some people just get nervous and hedge.
Oh,
so I like the
no.
direct.
I want to have like a horse in the race, even if the horse is the dumbest. Like it
Your horse was very intelligent, just a little slow.
was Pinot Noir. It was not even in the stable. But
I mean, I'm pretty embarrassed. I'm actually just embarrassed over here
that's fine.
that I didn't. I mean, if Gregory, if I would have known you were going to throw the Barolo in there, I would have obviously picked that.
But I guess
See,
what's
yeah, I don't know Greg, so that didn't factor in my.
Yeah, I had a lot more going into it.
yeah. Oh, but
It wasn't a true blind tasting. I mean, like true in that like I had no concept of anything. I had some,
right. You kind of knew who was giving you it.
yeah,
Right.
and I also knew the wines that he had
Oh, that's smart.
that he had to choose from.
Oh, wow.
So
I mean, I knew I'd seen his list, although he sent us a shipment that had
not.
things.
I
that
mean,
were
not like yeah.
Yeah.
This is so nice of him.
This is so nice.
And he's a previous.
I used to work with him, and he's a wine importer.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to be a guest eventually.
He's a guest at the end of November. Yeah.
Well, it'll be December probably by the time that's out. But yeah,
Oh,
that'd
yeah.
be great.
So
It's gonna be-
For all you
exciting.
folks at home and in the car and
Enough
on the
hedging,
plane.
Anne. What's giving you joy?
I think two things. One, dogs in general, and then two, I really like, and I'm not at all associated with this show, so it's such a weird plug, but I really plug it up. But just on Netflix, have you guys been watching Big Mouth?
Oh, I
No,
haven't
not
started
yet.
yet.
What is
so
that?
fun.
But Drew Drogi helped
Yeah.
write on it, so I'm going to be watching it.
Is
or
that
listening.
animated, right?
It is,
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
haven't
It's
seen it
like
yet.
about puberty and like there's like a main boy kid and a main girl kid, and they both have hormone monsters that they talk to. But it's great. It's awesome. That's making me very happy. Lately.
Big Mouth? Okay.
Yeah, Big Mouth.
I will. I know I need to start it.
Yeah.
I know I've heard it's really good. Nick Kroll and who else? Nick Kroll and someone
Oh,
else.
Maya Rudolph,
Maya Rudolph,
and like
yeah.
a million people. Like everyone is like, "What? They're doing this?"
What?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm excited
Yeah,
to see
man.
it.
Thank you so much for.
And
Thank you for
thanks so much
having
being
me.
here. Oh my
You guys
God.
are a delight.
This was
Go
great. Thanks
see
for going through
Anne
this.
Yeah, oh my
perform.
gosh.
Yeah, go see Anne at the Groundlings, guys.
Oh
She's
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Glass.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Listen to the echoes as we record this outro at Covell.
You guys were sneaking and recording an outro in Sidebar Covell
Yeah, super sneak.
from the epicenter of wine.
Yes, actually, we are surrounded by more wine than we are even when we open as many bottles as we did on Elise's episode.
Airplane episode.
Oh gosh, that was fun.
Thanks, UCB.
Thanks UCB. Thanks Dr. America for our song.
Thanks, Covell, where we're sitting. Thank you, Space. Thank you, Space.
Thank you W Sets and Court Masters. Yes, in space. Thank
Yeah.
you the atmosphere. Thank
The
you
atmosphere.
oxygen.
Thank you, oxygen. Thank
Carbohydrates.
Thank you, photosynthesis.
It's necessary. I mean, the grapes really need it.
They really need it.
They really do. Actually,
They
this
need the
is
sun.
entirely factual.
It's needed. Up next week, we have
Cassie Jerkins.
Cassie Jerkins. Yay!
Yay! It's a really fun episode.
We talk about puppets and wine and puppeting wine. All right, guys, have a good one.
Adios.
Adios.
I just drink wine. I don't fuck with IPA. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with Minute Maids. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with coffee mates. I just drink wine. Give me red, white, or say, don't touch me, motherfucker. I'm a sommelier.
This has been a Boardwalk Audio podcast. For more information and shows, visit boardwalkaudio.com. Don't forget to rate and subscribe now.